Hey everyone, Nubkeks here, and welcome back to our road to Grandmaster. We're on placement game 4, and we are going to Garden of Terror. Looks like we're going to be 4th pick in this game again. And we'll see exactly how things go once the draft activates and we're ready to roll. Alright, let's see. So Garden of Terror, pretty interesting map overall, pretty interesting, and a bit of a weirder one. So we'll see what sort of options kind of come up here. Looks like one of our teammates, again, we got a first pick on our team that wants to pick up a support. I don't think Brightwing is a good first pick. I think there's multiple supports who are better right now. I think Malfurion, Rhaegar, Karazim, Oriel. I think that I don't rate Brightwing that highly in the current patch at all. And either way, I don't think it's a strong support first pick. I think, you know, maybe Rhaegar or Malfurion, of course, would be good first picks, or decent-ish first picks. But not the Brightwing. There's so many other options of supports you can pick that are good. I don't think you're denying the enemy team anything or anything like that. We're going to ban the Ragnaros away, which makes sense if we're not going to pick Ragnaros. Now, there's a good first pick, Ragnaros. There's a good first pick. We decided to ban out Vikings instead. And I think that's kind of cool, but sort of calling the enemy team's bluff, make sure they can't pick up Vikings, and that they're going to go for this. Now, we'll see what happens with our team, because we got a Brightwing hovered and a Malfurion hovered. I would personally much prefer to see the RD guy pick up Malfurion second, and then have the Brightwing, or like he could pick up Brightwing if Malfurion gets picked or banned away, and that's fine, or he could pick up, like I said, you know, Rhaegar or someone else, and it would be just fine. I'm considering playing Artanis, actually. So one of the things I want to do in rank this season is pick up some different heroes, some new heroes, and kind of see how they work out. And I think that Artanis should actually be pretty good, or good-ish on Garden of Terror. Maybe not the best pick by any means, but he shouldn't be terrible. He should not be terrible. In fact, if I checking the win rates on Garden of Terror, and this is for the last 7 days, so not just the current patch, with the previous patch, with Artanis as well, he actually has a 55% win rate on the map. You know, the same as higher than Tyrael, Zeratul, Zagara, and just below Sergeant Hammer, Vala, Abathur, Raynor. Like, he's way up there in terms of the warriors. He's way up there. Oh, okay, never mind. The enemy team actually grabbed him. Alright, and we grabbed Li Ming first. I think that's fine. Again, like, she wouldn't stand out to me as being amazing, but she's fine. It's a decent, solid pick. I think Li Ming, Malfurion, Tychus, that's a good solid first half to the draft. Now the enemy team does grab the Raynor pick and Artanis, so like I was just saying, damn it, actually I forgot. It's been a while. I played all these games in one go, so I've completely basically forgotten all the games, so commentating on them is kind of a fresh experience every time. But yeah, geez, I forgot that they took the Artanis away. That sucks, man, but like I said, I think he's pretty good on this map. The new Artanis, I think he's pretty good. Amateur opponent, level 1. And yeah, I mean that's all you need to make him good on this map. Amateur opponent, awesome, great, nice. Artanis is good. Ta-da! Raynor, of course, very good on this map too, I think, as well. It suits him very nicely. It tends to go fairly late, which is when Raynor gets really powerful. So I quite like their picks, actually. They're unusual. And Samuro as well. Whoo boy. Oh, you know what? I think I do remember this game now. I do remember this game. So I'm considering picking up Chen. We obviously need a warrior and a second front line. Now, our other player has not indicated anything, so I'm actually going to switch over to Muradin. I prefer playing, you know, tanks to like melee assassins or bruisers, generally speaking. I think something like Dahaka would fit pretty well. I would strongly suggest that we need a solo laner. Okay, that's what we're kind of leading. So I'm thinking, okay, well, I can play Rexar. This guy's not hovering anything. And he instantly locks in Varian. So I pretty much despise this pick. I hate this pick so much. This is the second video in a row. If you want to hear me talk about Varian again, well, I apologize. I'll try not to rant too much about Varian in this video, seeing as I had a bit of a rant about Varian in the last video. But okay, cool. So we have Li Ming, Malfurion, Tychus, and then obviously I would like to play Muradin. Now we need a second frontliner because they've got fucking Samuro Artanis, and they're probably going to get another warrior because otherwise their comp is going to lack control. So they've got a super heavy frontline, multiple frontline heroes. They got Artanis, Rhaegar, Samuro, and okay, now they're actually going to run solo warrior Artanis. I take it back. That's an unusual composition, but still, it's still a heavy frontline. here's the thing. Look, who's our solo laner? We don't have a fucking solo laner. We don't have one. There's no solo laner. We got Varian. Varian's crap. Varian can't solo lane. He sucks. Now, I know this guy, I looked at this guy's a really high rated player, like top 20 or something, MMR. Like, this dude is way better than I am. But I really don't like the pick at all. And it's interesting, statistically, I checked this too, actually. Varian, at Master, MMR, Garden of Terror is his most picked map. It's the map he's picked on most. Because it traditionally, I think, is considered to go pretty long, so people consider it's fairly okay to pick Varian there. But it's also, he's got a really bad win rate on it. Like at Master level, 50% win rate on Garden of Terror. It's his 4th worst map. And 50% win rate, while good overall, is not good for Masters. His best map, like I said in the last video, in case you want to know, Towers of Doom. 59% win rate there in Towers of Doom. What's the difference? Second best, you got 3 kind of a bit below that. Tomb and the Spider Queen, Warhead Junction, Haunted Mines. They're all around 54, 55% win rate. Towers of Doom way ahead of the pack, 59%. What's the difference between Towers of Doom and other maps? The big difference is that Varian's early game is crap. He sucks until he gets his heroic. Guess what? Towers of Doom,
10 seconds.
you don't need to win the early game. Because if you lose all the objectives early game until you get to level 10, then you start contesting, you don't fall behind because the objective on Towers of Doom does not give any XP. That's the key difference there. That's why it's so much higher for Varian. Your crappy early game doesn't start a snowball against you because it's not a snowbally type map. Anyway, to go back to my pick, I picked up the Muradin. Like, we need a main tank, especially with the Varian pickup, we really need a main tank. And Muradin should be very good against Artanis, against Samuro, and should be decent against Raynor as well. Not a good start to the game by any means. Varian tries to go in and dies. And yeah, I mean, we just got completely outplayed there by the enemy team. The Artanis actually doing a good job securing that first kill. But yeah, like, I think there was so many options for heroes we could have picked up that would have been grossly superior. Was Thrall banned away in this draft? I don't know if he was, but if Thrall wasn't banned away, Thrall, please, just pick Thrall. Thrall would have been so much better. I have to assume he was banned away. Because I think picking Varian over Thrall in this situation is just unconscionable. It's unconscionable. Earthquake against Artanis Samuro? There's no way he actually picked it, right? This was awkward. Tychus is feeding, unfortunately. Just being way too greedy. And it's tough. It's one of the things actually, I don't remember like how good the Tychus actually is in terms of MMO or anything, but okay, like he's recognized, so he's probably well known. Yeah, okay, fair enough. But just to go back to my original thought was that it's something I really noticed during the placement games, is that because of the MMO squish, is that overall the game standard was much better, but we still had some like the lower skill type players in the games. So basically, like, there's a much greater mix of people who pre this season, but in season 2, people at 3,000 MMR and people at 4,000 MMR, because they're squished, people that are at 3,000 are now at like 2,900. People that were at like 4,000 or above are now at like 3,400 or 500. So the MMR are so much closer, you're getting these much more consistent games where they're matched together. And you just see these higher rated players like just owning some of these weaker guys. Anyway, this is a pretty decent start for us. We finish off the Samuro with a basic attack. But yeah, the game started badly and then went badly as well. I do remember this guy. Anyway, he's kind of raging at us. Again, like I said, I don't know. I disagree with this guy on multiple I remember this. I disagree. So he's blaming me in that case. So in that case where we were running away, we had like 0 mana and we were actually on a 3rd HP. So he was wrong about that. So I was watching this because I remembered. So he's kind of blaming us for that. I wasn't fully paying attention to it though. But anyway, I don't think I could have actually saved him right there in that situation. But it doesn't matter too much. And I don't like that flaming either. When we had a rough start to the game with Tychus dying twice, and then we started having a bit of a comeback. I think he could chill out and things would be fine. Chasing down this Kelthis, I think we can maybe get a kill. Artanis actually re-engaging us, left himself in a really rough spot. That was not a good flip from him at all. He just put himself in a really rough spot. We're going to be able to steal away their siege camp. And a game that started very badly for us has swung around actually very quickly. I think thanks to some good play from us and some large misplays from the enemy team. Get a decent stun down on this Rhaegar. Unfortunately, looks like he might be able to walk away from this. Bit of a desperation thunderclap from me. Was not very good. Should have actually saved that for Dwarf Toss. Varian is re-engaging. I do get the spread from the bomb, but it's not too bad. Make sure to dodge that. We hit Li Ming, unfortunately, as well. Not paying too much attention to that. Could be better, but we are ahead on terms of the seeds, and that is good for us. But Samuro is doing Samuro things. He's pushing all over the place. That's always pretty scary. Huge damage comes out in our squishy heroes from that Kelthus, actually. He's playing pretty well. We get a nice route on the Raynor. Going with the Thunderclap, hitting the Artanis as well. Trying to do what we can to zone these guys out. Varian goes back in. One thing I do have to say, as opposed to the Varian last game, this Varian is playing much better, and he also has Warbringer, so I'm already much happier. I think this Varian is way better than our last Varian. We're going in here aggressively, double kill for us. Looks like Rhaegar should die as well, while Li Ming missed her stuff. She got another reset. No, she didn't. Not enough mana, I think. There's Samuro attempting to run away. It's that one. There we go, we got him. Triple kill for us. We lost Varian pretty good. And this should be a good opportunity for us to take this. Bit of a slow rotation. You can see this game has been pretty crazy in terms of communication. We got a lot of people pinging like crazy. A lot of people chatting in the chat. And yeah. Very fast-paced game so far. I think compared to the last game, I do have to say that this game it's far better. It's far better quality. I think you can instantly see that. Instantly see that. I still don't like the Varian pick at all, but it's kind of working out okay. And the wonky composition that the enemy team has is working out in our favor. So I think our comp could be better, but it's fine. You can see we left Kelthus there, knew he was going to die, trying for a bit of a desperate Stormbolt on the Raynor. It's worth it. It's worth the attempt. Didn't quite work out, but it would have been worth it. I say I'm going to take this one. I actually think Varian should have taken it, and that's one of the main things I remember from playing this game was, hey, I think it would have been really good if Varian took the frickin' Terror. But he doesn't. But like I said, without heroics, Varian's really weak. So I don't really see what he's bringing to the situation here. But it sort of makes sense for me to take this kind of Terror because they're pushing hard up top and Varian is defending that. It gives us a good opportunity to actually get a push down bottom. I'm going to throw the plant in back here because I feel like, again, looking at the map and the way the enemy team is distributed, we could actually get a bit of a push onto this keep. Use Zone Samuro off. Gonna come in, get a couple of hits on here. Okay, the enemy team has arrived. We're gonna throw down the Polymorph and we're gonna use our speed to get away. And that's okay. Gonna swing back up here. Nice pick by our teammates up at top. Very nice indeed. And we have heroics now too, which is also great. Gonna pick up their fountain at this stage. Let's get rid of that. Clear out the wave. Smash this wall and then throw down the slowing thing and then just speed boost out. That's basically the plan there. I actually get swapped back in by Artanis. See, we've gone for Taunt Varian. And like I said, I do think it's the best kind of Varian overall at the moment. I actually would have quite liked Colossus Smash or one of the other ones in this situation. I think it would have been quite good. But Taunt Varian is generally considered to be the best one overall right now. I was trying to get a Stormbolt, but we got CC'd by the Kelthus. But it didn't work out too badly for us in the end. And yeah, we got ourselves a couple of kills from that. And a very good game so far. The enemy team has hit level 10 though, and they do have their heroics. So we'll see what they pick up and what they make of it. Was considering getting the Raynor here. Go for the Stormbolt, doesn't quite land. I think I should have Dwarf Tossed in and grabbed him. I, of course, should have been paying more attention to the fact that we had a Varian with Taunt. I really should have gone in, actually. Realized that in hindsight. With Taunt Varian, if I jumped in, hit a Stormbolt, he could have followed up with Charge, then with the Taunt, and we would have had more than enough to get a free kill there in the Raynor. So that was a mistake for me. Go in. Raynor is going to go down, so that's good. But they're all over our team, and they're absolutely melting. Tychus is dead as well. I'm trying to focus them down, do some damage, throw the Stormbolt and Dwarf Toss out. But we take a lot of hits, and we do go down. So even though we picked up Raynor early on in that fight and denied a lot of what he could do, it didn't work out for us quite well enough. We got Rhaegar in a decent little combo there. But a bit of an awkward situation all around. I started to take this out. One thing I have to say is our team is very actually low damage, I would say, overall. Because we've got tank Varian with a Muradin, it's pretty low damage. So that's something to be aware of. Yeah, we're going into the second seed phase. And as you saw, Rhaegar with Bloodlust, that was, for me, like the defining thing of this game, is that they have a Rhaegar with Bloodlust. This is the first time in the placement games we've seen that, and it is being really effective. It's been very, very strong. Li Ming is laning, which is not really ideal. She's trying to get us level 13, I guess. And we catch Raynor, get him with the slow as well, jump over him. We're just staying on top of him as best we can. Unfortunately, our teammates were not quite with us, so it didn't work out. Pick up healing static at level 13. Just dead standard Muradin build here, nothing special. But we are ultimately losing this seed phase. The enemy team is going to get more seeds out of it than we will. They just had better map rotations and map play. Simple as that. And we're getting kind of punished for it. Also, the fact that they have a Malfurion makes it pretty brutal. Nice pick by the Varian. This is why Taunt Varian is strong, is picking up heroes. Ooh, that's not a good... Okay, phew, it's alright. That was not a good force of will. Or wave of force, sorry, from the Li Ming. It worked out alright. I think it's a good idea to capture this bruiser camp before we grab the siege, before we grab the terror, I should say. And yeah, push forward. I say the game is very much equalized at this stage. I think that's the thing. If you look at their composition, Bloodlust is amazing. They have Samuro, Artanis, Raynor, and Rhaegar himself. They have multiple heroes that are amazing with Bloodlust. I think that's the pick that makes their comp work. I'm gonna grab this terror again. Like I said, I really do feel that Varian should be the one who's in the terror, and I think that becomes more and more evident and apparent as the game goes on. Anyway, I'm going to go split push. I do have to say, obviously he's rotating very correctly. Sees the terrors pushing bottom, their terrors pushing top. He's rotating away to join the team. Basically, the main reason that, especially going later into the game, that I felt like we should have Varian in the terror is that to deal with Bloodlust, they've got multiple heroes. Like I said, they have 4 heroes that are empowered by Bloodlust and will start chasing us down. I think it's much better idea overall to have Varian inside, because Varian is single target lockdown, and that's useful, but I think much more useful in the team fight would have been to have Muradin out, to have Muradin able to participate in the team fights and to try to zone these guys out with Thunderclap and just take them down that way. Now this is a decent teamfight opportunity for us. But yeah, I think with Varian in the thing, you can see I threw that down just in front of the team just to kind of distract them, maybe soak up some attacks if there was going to be a fight. Ultimately it was a waste. It's always something of a risky move, is to throw out your plant that early. And now we've got a terror for 20 seconds and they don't. He's hitting the Samuro a bit. He's kill his clones. Alright, that's his clones down. Nice. Our teammates do go a bit too far forward, so we grab the Raynor, we get Raynor out of it. The Bloodlust has come down, so we've completely got rid of Raynor from this fight, but he did get to fire off Hyperion, and he did get to fire off a few basic attacks. And our team is just getting overwhelmed. So I zoned out, for the most part, Kelthus and Raynor, but they did get both their heroics off, and that was one of the main things. And that was one of the tough things. Tried our best there, but we did get kind of punished for it. Nice. Again, the Artanis is starting that fight off with a good flip. And he has obviously specced into flipping 2 people as well, which is pretty useful. But like I said, I mean, looking at that fight, imagine that it was Varian inside the terror, and that I would have been back with the team and was able to zone off Bloodlust with Thunderclap and the reduced cooldown on that. The immense amount of survivability I would have from Thunderclap, and then, you know, just AoE, slowing them down, slowing their move speed and attack speed, and creating that zone to help zone out our teams. Obviously, Bladestorm still goes through it, but we can zone out the clones, we can zone out Rhaegar, we can zone out Artanis, we can zone out a lot of heroes, multiple heroes at once, as opposed to Varian, who has single target lockdown and nothing else. That was not a good Stormbolt, and that was not a good Gravity Lapse, so hey, it's a trade. That's a trade. Moving on to the small camps now, and that's kind of important. But you can see their Samuro is already doing Samuro things. He's really good on this map, I have to say. He's already taken out a siege camp. We'll be taking out this thing. I think we should probably be contesting the bigger camps much more. It's awkward, we've got a siege camp. No, that's a bruiser camp, sorry, pushing the bottom lane at the same time. Samuro is good. It's funny now, actually, because people, I think, are actually now undervaluing Samuro in the context that he's good on, and they're overvaluing Varian. I think it's really interesting insight into the life cycle of heroes. That right, when Samuro was first released, we had the same thing where Samuro was way overvalued. Even at high level, he was way overvalued. And people thought that he was very good, even in maps and in compositions where he really wasn't. We're seeing the same thing now where, you know, Samuro, now that we know the sort of situations and the compositions where Samuro really works, he's undervalued because people just see his overall win rate and go, you know, he's not that good or whatever. But when he is played correctly, he's very, very powerful and impactful. We got a similar thing with Varian, where same situation. He's going to come out, people don't know the best situations to play him in, and they just think he's like really good in all of them, and they pick him in all of them, even into ones where he's really bad. We're probably going to have a similar thing happen, where Varian's going to fall off in terms of popularity, and then even in the situations where he's good, like I was saying, he seems to be really good on Towers of Doom, people are not going to pick him. They're going to think he sucks, he's going to be neglected, and then people are probably going to be going crazy, going like, hey, why are you picking Varian? Pick this OP hero again. I don't know who the OP hero. Let's Zul'jin or Vol'jin, I think. No, I forget. Zul'jin, it might be the next hero. They'll be like, oh my god, pick Zul'jin. He's overpowered. Vol'jin, I can't remember. And yeah, it might not work out too well for us. Anyway, Bloodlust comes out. We're trying to zone these guys out. That's a nice start to this fight for us, with him going down. Bladestorm coming in, doing a lot of damage. But we do zone him out. But Varian goes down, though, in return. And try to chase down this Rhaegar. Rhaegar's doing some nice jukes. Unfortunately, we would have got the Stormbolt, but a great gravity lapse from Kel'Thuz does prevent us from getting on top of him. I honestly do not know what Malfurion was doing in that situation. He does go down. However, that means that Rainer's out of position. We're going to use our level 16 there to slow down Kel'Thuz as well. Lock him down with the stun too. Kel'Thuz is going to die too. So, sure, Malfurion died, I feel, really unnecessarily. But we do get a couple of kills. We walk away 3 for 2 in our favour, so that's good overall. And of course, they do still have Samuro alive who can do multiple things. I think this is a really good time to capture this Merc camp. Samuro and Rhaegar are still alive, so they'll be able to de-push, they'll be able to take Merc camps. Like, they'll probably be able to grab their Siege and Bruiser camp. So, ironically, even though it's like 3v2, they have something of an advantage here. Li Ming had no mana, now they know she's retreating. So, no real pressure from this bottom push at all. It's just more so to deny it from the enemy. It's a potential thing they could do than anything else. Yeah, you can see that's Samuro picking up that Siege camp right there. Hey, Samuro clones. I don't know, I just think that's so interesting as a reflection of what makes heroes good. He's trying to aim that well. Should have used the number 1 button actually to slow him down a bit and then hit it. Bit of a mechanical misplay. Not used to taking this talent. I almost never pick it. I way prefer give him the axe. But given how the fights are going, that we're just getting dived by Bloodlust, I figured that the intimidation thing, whatever it's called, would be better overall. And we're on top of some more, just trying to get rid of him. We get Kel'Thuz. Nice cleanse, though. Bloodlust comes out. And late game Rainer. Plus vulnerability from something. Ah, of course, from the Artanis. Oh, I like that a lot. I like that a lot. So Artanis obviously picked up vulnerability. Level 16 whenever he twin blades. And like that. It actually just melted us as Muradin even. Nothing we could do. Rainer. With like a bloodlusted Rainer, bloodlusted Artanis, with vulnerability every 4 seconds, onto even Muradin just melts. That's really, really interesting. Really, really interesting. Anyway, like Varian was kind of raging. We never really got to see that too much ourselves because of the way that the team fights were happening. We never really got to see how the Tychus and the Li Ming and the Malfurion and so on were handling the dive from the enemy team. Varian is saying that they went pretty well. I think he's probably correct. But, I mean, he's kind of raging at the team a lot. And I was very frustrated in this game because I was kind of going, you know, how many times do we have to lose the fight the exact same way? Getting dived by Bloodlust before you know, you say, okay, you know what? Maybe having Varian single target lockdown is not the thing we want here. You can see I was getting pretty frustrated myself. I just kind of wanted to insult someone. But yeah, I think Varian was a useless pick. Like I said, I don't think he's good on the map. I think we gave up a lot of better heroes. For example, Thrall. I think Thrall. I'm actually going to rewind and check if Thrall was banned, but Thrall would have been so strong here. Earthquake, amazing. Earthquake was amazing. Anyway, what am I saying? Yeah. But this is what I'm saying. Like, single target lockdown. We had... I just really think you should reassess. I think how many times do you have to get dived by Bloodlust, Samura with Samura clones, Rhaegar, Artanis? How many times do you have to get dove by that and not go, hey, hang on, here's an easy thing we can adjust to even within the game. Within this game, we have a Muradin who has AoE, zoning, move speed, and attack speed slow. AoE. And we have Varian, who's got single target lockdown, single target pick potential. And they've got cleanse. We've got these two heroes, and we keep putting Muradin in the Garden Terror. I don't know, I just think, when is the point where you kind of go, you know what, let's try something different. Let's put the single target lockdown guy into the Garden Terror, and let's leave the AoE slow them down guy outside of it. Let's just give that a spin. Let's see how that works. So that now we've got a Garden Terror which can zone out and do like an AoE polymorph thing, and we've got a Muradin who can like zone and do AoE slowing things. Let's try that, and let's see how that works. I don't know. I just feel like I know this guy is unequivocally, unquestionably, overall a much better player than me. His MMR is much higher. Again, like I said, he's like top 20 or something in EU. So there's no doubt that he is much better. And like if you compared multiple games of ours, you'd notice. Like that's what that means. You would notice. Like again, he would have been about 4,000 at the end of season 2. I was about 3,500. It's a big difference. But I just don't understand this game. Now, to be fair, what he was saying was, all right, the carries are handling this really badly, and maybe they were. So he's kind of thinking, well, if only the DPS players start playing correctly, this dive shouldn't be a problem. But I don't know. Because I couldn't see that. But I just really do feel that there has to come a point, especially even the early game terrors, I really think that Varian should have been much more so, you know, prioritizing and going for it. I actually feel that's something of like higher player, like a higher ranked player coming through his placement games early in the season. I feel like there's a lot of arrogance there actually, which is kind of being unfortunate for our team. But yeah, I just prioritizing having Varian outside the Terror instead of Muradin. And then especially like early game when Varian is just straight up weaker, and then later in the game prioritizing having single target pick outside of the Terror instead of AoE CC when you're getting dived by multiple heroes. It just seems to me to make so much more sense to have Muradin out. You're losing the game, you're losing all these team fights. I think there just has to become a point where you say, let's try something different. You know, let's not keep fighting the same thing and just shouting at our teammates going, OMG, you suck, in the chat. Let's actually try something different. So yeah, I was kind of frustrated by that. But then also impressed by the team comp the enemy team put together. It was pretty cool, right? Bloodlust. It was the first time we saw Bloodlust. Massively impactful, but Bloodlust. They had Samuro, Artanis, Rhaegar. It worked incredibly well. And they did just kind of like wreck us. It was really effective. I was very impressed with that. It made a lot happen. It did a lot of work. Anyway, that's what I thought about this particular game. I thought it was kind of interesting. I hope you guys enjoyed that one anyway. Certainly it was a very interesting look, not only into some of these new heroes, especially Bloodlust Rainer, but also an interesting look into some of the mentality of these players. Like I said, your man, he's a very high rated player, but I'm just not entirely convinced by the Varian pick at all, or how he wanted to use it in the game. He did play mechanically pretty well, but I don't know. That's what I think, guys. Thank you for watching. I'll see you all next time. More Here's the Storm. Bye bye.